very quickly back to Mr. Ben Lang. Ben from LangBarbecueSmokers.com. You can find everything we're talking about here, these incredible machines, and that's what I like to refer to them as. These things are absolute cooking machines. Now, I've got the 36 Hybrid Deluxe Patio, and Ben, when we were talking about this and I was going through what cooker to buy, you had mentioned to me you might want to consider jumping up to that 48 because your cooking needs are going to change. And you kind of got me with this one when you said, you have a boat, don't you? I said, yep. You said to me, don't you ever wish you had a bigger boat? I had to agree with you on that one. So can you make a suggestion before we go to a recipe real fast?
Well, when you look at the cookers, if you decide you need to up your game and get into this type of grilling and capabilities, you want to make sure that you don't outgrow it as soon as you settle in. It's the worst thing in the world to get the best product in the world and find out, whoops, I should have got a little bigger one. You know, the ladies that help with the decisions in these cookers, they'll tell their husbands real quick, don't get the one that's too little. Get the bigger one if we need it, you know, because it's that kind of product.
And it's sound advice.
Yeah. And the other thing along that line is versatility. You get you a smoker cooker on a trailer or on a patio cart, that's the best thing in the world, and everybody that calls you to confirm you're coming over for the function, they'll say, great, well, don't forget to bring the cooker. And if you got to pony it up in a trailer every time and you got to rent a U-Haul trailer to pull it off, you're real quick. You wish, I should have got that little thing on a mobile trailer. I'd have been a lot better off, you know, because it's versatility. It really is.
Well, I'm going to tell you a true story. Just yesterday, a buddy of mine says, hey, I need your cooker on August 11th. We got to get it up the hill. Now, I don't have it on the utility trailer, so we're going to have to find a way to get it up the hill. But we will find a way to do it. But what you're saying is absolutely correct. Let me quickly go to that bologna recipe because I want to hear what you have to say about this. This is often very overlooked. A lot of people don't know that you can do this. But, folks, just when you get a chance, just buy you a big old hunk of bologna. Head up to your local grocery store. Get about 5 or 6 pounds, one big chunk. Now, what I do is I skewer it, maybe cross-hatch it, or just you want to run run a knife into about a half-inch deep and cross-hatch that bologna all the way around it. What I do is I put some Worcestershire sauce on it, roll it in some rub, and then I'll stick it right directly on the cooker. And I'll let that thing go, depending on what temperature. Ben, you take that thing off after it gets a good good color on it. I mean, the bologna's already cooked, let's face it, and you slice out about quarter-inch, half-inch slices, and, man, it's just dynamite, isn't it?
Exactly. It doesn't take long, an hour. So if you're talking about a roll of bologna,
right.
In case they're a $25 roll of bologna, you can score it like you're talking about. You leave it in the tube, roll it in some mustard and rub if you need to, or like you were talking about there, but just run it on the smoker for an hour and a half or so. Just bring temperature up to 160 or so or 140. You're good. You're going to have plenty of smoke flavor in it, and it's so rich at that point once the smoke flavor's in it that you really want it deli shaved almost. I mean, the big chunks are like trying to eat too big of pieces of salmon. It's too euphoric. You know what I mean?
It really, really is. I mean, I've seen people eat it. I've gone with a chunk of it on white bread with mayonnaise. You can shave it like you're talking about really thin and get that really good, rich smoke flavor in it and do whatever you want to do. Hell, you can serve it as a side. You can serve it as a main. You can put it as a sandwich. It's really versatile with what you can do, and most people have never thought about that. Now, I'll tell you, on the deluxe version that I have, the deluxe would be perfect. The warmer up there on those 3 racks would be ideal for doing a smoked bologna while you're finishing up a longer cook of something else, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that temperature about 160 to 180?
That's exactly right. It doesn't take a lot of cooking. You don't want all the you keep some of the fat in it. It's going to render a little bit, but really you're just after the smoke flavor in the meat in tandem with the bologna flavor. And beef bologna is good. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can use any kind of bologna.
Sure. Pork
and chicken combination or any of them. But, yeah, the cooking with wood on a cooker like this, and then folks at home, they know how to cook. Most of them have used grills and know their way around it. You can get some great food off a grill. But a Lang gives you the consistency of being able to always get great food off of it, not just once in a while when you hold it in your mouth right and the cooker did right for you that day. The Lang cooks great all the time. And
I couldn't have screwed up what I put on it if I tried, and I know what I'm doing here over many years. But, you know, I'm no, this is not my first rodeo with a cooker, and certainly not my first rodeo with a stick burner. It's my first rodeo with a real stick burner. When I say real stick burner, guys, I'm not knocking what you got, and I know you've got some great food coming off of what you bought in some of the stores and the box stores and everything else, and maybe even stepped up and got some of the other ones that are a little bit better than that. This one here is just far and beyond anything like that. And Ben, I got to tell you, should a cook be afraid that it didn't take 15 hours to do that brisket? Because that's what we've all been told, low and slow, 225 for 15 hours. That's not necessarily true anymore, is it?
Well, it is to some extent for the purist, but no. I mean, the idea is to have it done proper, tender proper, moisture proper, flavor beyond compare, and perfect look and color and feel. And that's what our cooker provides. We know that it's the cooker. It's not us. It's the cooker. The cooker is what's made the magic in the food for the customers. That's why customers come back and buy more. Everybody you know is going to be inoculated with what you know about a Lang smoker cooker in your center of influence out there with your cooking, and they're going to end up buying cookers. Let me tell you this quick story from yesterday.
Please.
A guy calls me yesterday from out in Los Angeles, and he says, I got that 36 hybrid from you, but my brother's wanting to buy it from me, and I'm wanting to buy me a 36 stretch. And I said, well, that's a good thing. So I took him through the whole thing. We talked about it. We talked about the difference between a 36 stretch, which is an in-between model between a 36 and a 48. And I told him how the 48 was the same size and the money was the same. And so we talked about it and everything. And then later that afternoon, I got a call from the other brother. There's 3 of them. I had no idea. Yeah, and it turns out that one of the brothers bought the grill that the first brother had, and the other 2 wanted new ones. So that's the kind of product it is. Everybody wants one once they see what's going on. Not everybody can afford it from the get-go. Some folks have to plot and plan for it. Got to convince mama or whatever the case is. They've got to make it happen that way before they can just go out and buy it. But the Lang Smoke...
Oh, it's worth it.
It's the pinnacle of the quest for barbecue. That's exactly right.
It absolutely is. And the model, just so you know, listener, the model that I have starts at about $18.95, and you can go up from that and have all kinds of stuff custom. We've only got about a minute left. Right now, that music means we're having to call it quits. But, Ben, I want to thank you. Please promise you're going to come back throughout the summer as we're barbecuing and smoking while armed, right?
Anytime, man. Just let me know when I can help you.
Thank you. Lang Barbecue, LangBBQSmokers.com. That is Ben Lang himself. Please go check these things out. I'm a huge fan. I hope you enjoy what you see on the site. I know you will. If you have any questions, I've got one. Mark at armedamericanradio.org. Mark at armedamericanradio.org. You can also reach Ben Lang. You can call him right there, 800-462-4629. He'll take your phone call and say, hi, I heard you on the radio, and he'll answer your questions for